Oh, hi there. Is that a gun? I mean, it hurt a bit, but it's just Nerf bolts. I don't know what your plan was. Bye. The door's that way. That was weird. Huh. It seems that October 31st no longer exists. Almost like a time paradox happened. That's weird. Well, it is sad that Halloween no longer exists. Let's look on the bright side of things. Sonic Frontiers came out sooner. For those who don't know, Sonic Frontiers is a 2022 Sonic game created by Sonic Team and released by Sega on all platforms. After the failure of the last mainline Sonic game, Sonic Forces, Sonic Team decided to look back and try something new. They actually took their time to make the next Sonic game. The game was revealed last year during Sonic's 30th anniversary with a simple teaser and a date, 2022. Since this was a simple teaser with not even a name to go along with it, many fans kinda brushed it aside to talk about the enhanced port Sonic Colors Ultimate, which was also being revealed at the time. And I was the weirdo who brushed both of those aside to talk about the 2-episode web show, Rise of the Wisp. Listen, I wasn't a Sonic fan back then, I made some bad decisions. Later on, we learned the name of the game, which was Frontiers. We got our first look in a really bad IGN first showcase, and unlike other Sonic games, the gameplay and story was more sprinkled to us, with not everything being shown all at once, which I enjoy and I like. Shows that Sonic Team has matured with how they do stuff like marketing. And though they still are advertising the game, they're just not advertising a lot of it, more so the beginning stages as to not spoil anything at once. Once again, I like that. They also delayed the game for a bit for quality control, which is like the first time Sega has ever delayed a game. And finally, the game came out on November 8th, 2022 for $60. Man, you have to be an idiot to pay that much for a Sonic game, god dang it. Well, in my defense, I did sign up for the newsletter so I can get the free soap shoes. So I kinda had to buy the game so I can use them. Anyway, ignoring my poor financial decisions, let's move on to the plot. So the plot is relatively pretty simple. Sonic, Tails, Amy, and then later Knuckles get sucked into a wormhole into cyberspace. While Sonic is able to escape pretty easily, the rest of the game are trapped, with them only being able to project themselves into the real world via holograms. So Sonic needs to run around in this new world to get random stuff to heal his friends to get them out of cyberspace. All while the new villain Sage is trying to stop Sonic, as well as try and free Eggman, who also got stuck in cyberspace, while trying to test Sage since he created her. Sonic needs the 7 Chaos Emeralds in order to fight/kill a bunch of Titans, which will bring him closer to saving his friends. Though after he kills a Titan and travels into a new land, he just loses the power of the Chaos Emeralds and they scatter far away, forcing Sonic to keep searching them in each world. The first 3 worlds have you save one of Sonic's friends: Amy, then Knuckles, then Tails, with the 4th world being more exposition and destroying a bunch of towers, and the 5th world being a huge boss fight. And I'm going to stop talking about the plot to avoid spoilers, since not even I finished the game yet, and I don't want to be spoiled myself, so let's move on. So the gameplay is ultimately pretty simple. Sonic goes fast, but in an Unreal Engine grass project. All jokes aside, the gameplay isn't too bad. Most of Sonic's moves have been carried over from the Boost games to Frontiers, apart from my child, the Spin Dash. Rest in peace. Unlike other Sonic games where you slowly build up speed via momentum, here you have a base speed with the boost button from the Boost games coming back to boost your speed, almost acting like a run button. Though you can't use it too much or else you will run out of boost, and you need to wait a few seconds for it to replenish. There are multiple random obstacles and platforming challenges sprinkled in here as well, like rails, bounce pads, wall climbing, etc., which usually gives you more rings and stuff. Speaking of rings, they act as a life system, and act how they've always acted throughout Sonic's entire life. You get hit, you lose rings. If you get hit while you have 0 rings, then you die. Though there isn't an actual life system, you die, you just restart. There is no game over, which to be honest, I don't mind. I think the life system is a pretty outdated concept anyway, so this is okay with me. There is also combat where you button mash to kill enemies. Some enemies require using the Cycloop, which gives Sonic this blue trail that when you spin around and connect it, can send enemies flying in the air. It can also help with puzzles, give you extra rings, etc. Killing the enemies also gives you random stuff. You have the red seeds of power and blue seeds of defense, which can be given to one of the rock guys to increase your attack/defense. You also have little cocos that you can go ahead and pick up and then give to another rock guy to increase their speed, as well as increase your ring capacity. Chaos Emerald keys can be used to unlock emeralds from the vaults. Memory tokens can be used to help Sonic's friends come back to the real world. Skill points can be used to unlock some other powers for Sonic during combat, a la Spider-Man PS4. Speaking of Spider-Man PS4, the game also has little puzzles, and by doing these simple puzzles, you unlock more of the in-game map, like Spider-Man PS4. I am starting to realize how similar this game is to Spider-Man PS4, it's so weird. And finally, portal gears, which can be used to unlock portals containing cyberspace levels, which are similar to the boost style of gameplay from the previous Sonic game, and those give you more Chaos Emerald keys, which is good. After collecting all 7 Chaos Emeralds, you go ahead and fight a Titan in this big boss fight, which is actually pretty cool. Then you go to the next island, lose the emeralds, find them again, and you basically repeat. Am I forgetting any gameplay? Nah. First things first, the game is just fun. It's fun to run around, make cycloops, kill enemies, collect items, grind rails, all while in an open space. Sonic works surprisingly really well in an open world setting. Makes me wonder why Sonic Team chose him to be in hallways for the past 2 decades. I also like the story and writing. None of the dialogue feels forced and the characters have natural chemistry. The writing isn't Twin Peaks or anything, but it's still leagues better than the writing seen in Colors, Generations, and Lost World. Oh, and Forces, especially Forces. It's just nice seeing the characters interact, and unlike the previous games, the zaniness has been toned down considerably. I mean, it's still here with Sonic making quips from time to time, but it isn't so much where it feels annoying. And I feel like this tone change is shown best in Sonic's voice direction. Roger Craig Smith has tweaked Sonic's voice, going for a more deeper and mellow voice. Seems like he's trying to match Jason Griffin's performance. Sonic has mellowed out over the years, no longer this impatient, wisecracking guy. He still makes quips, but is no longer his entire personality, and I like this a lot. Sage is also a good character. She's actually built up from the beginning, given more personality, unlike a different Sonic villain who's red and black. The platforming sections can be annoying at times, but otherwise still fun, especially when you're able to get an entire thing done without messing up. It's super satisfying. The combat is also really good. It can be button mashy at times, but listen, I 100% in Spider-Man PS4, I don't mind. And this game really does share a lot with Spider-Man PS4 for some reason. The combat, skill points, puzzle maps. Speaking of the puzzle map system, it's also fun. The puzzles aren't hard or anything. The worst are repetitive, but they don't really... they're not bad per se. The worst is when they don't really give you a clear idea on how to trigger them, but otherwise it's still super fun and rewarding when you do realize what to do and you beat them up. My only real con with them is that they don't feel Sonic. Like, one of them is literally just you playing Tetris, or doing a pinball machine, or Galaga. But otherwise it's still fun. I don't really mind. I also like the music. Sonic games, no matter the quality, have banger music, and this game continues the trend. At least when the music isn't screaming at me. Listen, I know music is subjective, and trust me, rock and roll isn't that bad, but seriously, who finds this legitimately enjoyable? Anyway, another pro is the camera. Thank God the camera doesn't suck. Any game can make it or break it for me if the camera controls aren't good. Super Mario 64's camera controls give me nightmares, but Frontiers? Not too shabby. And it's impressive considering how Sonic's past camera controls usually suck. I'm looking at you, SA2 and Unleashed. Another pro is the boss battles. They're more flashy over being hard, but to be honest, I don't mind this at all. I don't mind when a boss can make you feel cool over a tough-as-nails boss. And Supersonic being included in these battles, it makes you feel super cool. At least as cool as you can be when you're sitting on your couch with your laptop on your lap and holding an Xbox 360 controller. Yeah, I'm definitely cool. And that's all the pros I can think of. Now on to the cons. First things first, while I like running around as Sonic, one problem I have is that it doesn't feel like he's equipped to run in the world he is placed in. He is constantly getting stuck over little things on the floor, and it's just annoying at times. Or how the collision can be a bit wonky. I am talking full Sonic 06 levels of wonky. Another con is the momentum, or lack thereof it. Sonic fans seem to have treated this world like it's the plague recently, but I feel like the lack of momentum was a huge missed opportunity on Sonic Team. Sonic basically controls like other platformers, has a normal yet slow speed, but then has a run button. Yes, a Sonic game has a run button. And I know that Lost World had it too, but Lost World felt like that style was warranted. Since the button was since the game was literally trying to copy Mario Galaxy, it makes sense why that game had a run button. And another reason why Lost World has a better use of the run button than Frontiers is the fact that the Lost World's run button doesn't run out. The boost button being able to run out only really works in boost games, since they don't automatically fill up. You need to do stuff like kill enemies to increase it. But here, the button having a limit just makes it annoying since Sonic goes really slow when he isn't boosting. And I know that the leveling up system increases his speed, but it's still kinda lame and it doesn't really increase it that much. And the thing is that it could have worked. Sonic Speed Simulator on frickin' Roblox has momentum and a leveling up system, and while I agree that both systems are grindy, at least Speed Simulator automatically increases your speed after each level, instead of forcing you to find one of the Elden Rocks to level yourself up every time. Another con is how the game flip-flops between telling you exactly what to do and leaving you with nothing. In a minigame, you're told exactly, literally every little thing what to do, which button to press and all that random stuff, but then in like a boss battle, it doesn't even give you a hint of what to do. How was I supposed to know that I was supposed to use parry on these bombs? I don't want the game to hold my hand the entire way through, but I mean, at least like show like a little effect that shows that they can be parryable. Or maybe like after dying a few times it tells you, try parrying or something like that. It is especially annoying when it tells you to go somewhere and then have it be across an entire island, forcing you to backtrack and figure out which platforming challenges or rails you need. It's so annoying. World 2 and World 3 are especially guilty of this, especially where they hide the Chaos Emeralds. They'll tell you, okay, go and collect the Chaos Emerald, and then to be on a random island. It is so annoying. Though these are more minor complaints. My main complaint is the cyberspace levels. Okay, let me say it right here, I'm not a fan of the boost games. Hey, what's this red dot on my face? So maybe I'm a bit biased here, but my god, these are not fun. These levels are just pulled from forces, which were pulled from generations, and there was little change to accommodate Sonic's new playstyle. Try boosting. 9 times out of 10, you'll boost yourself too far and then you'll fall off the platform and die. And I think a perfect example to show how this isn't fun is during a part of one of the Sky Sanctuary parts, where you're going up the crumbling tower. Sonic, no joke, is not fast enough to climb up it in time, forcing you to boost. But God forbid you jump once. You lose all momentum, making it impossible to recover, forcing you to fall and die and redo the entire thing all over again. And because there's momentum, it makes stages like Chemical Plant annoying to play. I don't care that this is nostalgia pandering. These levels could be reused a billion times. What I care about is if they're fun to play. But they're not. You can give me Green Hill Zone a million times, and while yes, I would rather you guys make a new round, if it's still fun to play, I wouldn't care. But these are not fun to play. And the worst part is that these are your main form of getting Chaos Emeralds. You need to play these to complete the mini missions to get the keys. And sometimes you'll get one after killing a boss, but most of the time that's how you're getting them. So I literally cannot avoid these. Plus, if you're gonna make me play these, at least give me more unique levels. Not Green Hill, Chemical Plant, Sky Sanctuary, and a generic mission stream. No joke, these are the only levels you'll ever see, and man, this makes me really hate Green Hill. Doesn't help that these have a fixed camera, making it super hard to tell where you're going or where you are coinciding to the ground. Whoopee. This is where I also learned that the game doesn't have a brief invincibility when you get hit. They kinda have it in the open world part, but it goes so fast that we're having a Sonic 1 problem, where you basically hit a spike, you get hit, but because of no invincibility frames, you can get hit again and then just immediately die. That's a Sonic 1 problem, and it's in this game. There's so many times I'll get hit by something, and then I'm barely able to recover before I get a hit again. Fun! And that's all my complaints. Overall, Sonic Frontiers is a good game. I feel like this game is a great blueprint of where to take Sonic in the future. And while I do have some problems with this game, I feel like they can and should be fixed in future entries. Maybe Sonic Team is just having some trouble. This is their first open world game after all. So I'm at least praying that the future games, if they carry this style, go ahead and fix some of the issues I'm talking about, like the momentum. And I do feel like one of the most important things about a game is if it's fun to play overall and can keep you coming back. And considering how I played this game for about 10 plus hours as of right now, and of course in the span of a few days, yeah, I think it's doing its job correctly. Plus, modders have already brought in mods to fix the physics issues, which is great. And yeah, overall, I would recommend it. I give it a 7 out of 10, which let me remind you, 7 out of 10 is not a bad score. It just means that there's room for improvement and has more pros over cons. And while it might still have some cons, it still has pros to outweigh them. But yeah, good game. Honestly, let's give Sonic Team a round of applause. They made a game that didn't suck. Bravo! Only took them an entire decade.